Hello, YouTube. With all the talk lately about sex workers' rights and sex positivity, I wanted to clear a few things up and try something with y'all. Um, a lot of people seem to think that sex positivity is not very nothing to be taken seriously, but I think what people are underestimating is just how much our um, our attitudes towards our sexuality as people and our individual sexualities is used as a tool for social control. Um, Also, what I wanted to clear up, I'm a sex positive feminist, as are many of the people that I'll roll with, but you can be a sex positive and not be a feminist, and you can be a feminist and not be a sex positive. The sex positive movement, the happy atheist 76 put it probably one of the most very perceptively put it that sex positivity is kind of like sexual atheism. And I thought that was very perceptive because a lot of our attitudes towards sexuality are constructed by the major religions in the world right now: Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. And even if you're an atheist, especially in America, you're raised in a society that, Christianity plays a big part in constructing our attitudes about sexuality. I've even heard atheists go around calling, women they don't like sluts. Well, why is it wrong to be sexually active? And whereas like men, you don't see them doing that to men. A man is praised for being highly sexually active and a woman is shamed for it. I feel like that comes from religion. Um, so I'm going to do a tag here. I want to hear from you two examples of how our sexuality is used as a tool of social control. If you can get some specific examples, that would be good too. I'm not going to tag any of my fellow sex positives because I know they'll jump in there anyway. I want to hear from some people that don't normally comment on this kind of stuff. I'm going to tag Eden's Cancer. He does comment on this stuff, but he hasn't made a lot of videos lately. Eden. Friend Joe, I really find his stuff interesting and I want to hear what he has to say about this. Professor Anton, and if you could do this one with your wife. I like those videos. Especially when you say something, she gives you that look. The true Puka, who seems to think sex positive feminism is about going in a voting booth and pulling the lever with your vagina, which he's sure never happens, to which I have to say, you don't know. Rational Warrior, I know he probably won't respond, but I'm going to tag him anyway. Anubis 2814, and my latest YouTube nerd crush, the Messianic Maniac. I'm going to give two examples. I'll start. We're all familiar with Eliot Spitzer. He was the governor, I believe, of New York, and championed a lot of laws that were oppressive to sex workers and what have you. And then, ironically, he was busted with a sex worker and lost his job, or had to resign. But what a lot of people forget about him is that on February 14th, 2008, he did a piece in the Washington Post called Predatory Lenders Partner in Crime. In this piece, which will be in the low bar, he basically calls out all of the Bush administration for enabling predatory lending practices. 3 weeks later, after this, information was leaked to the media about an FBI investigation into his finances and his connection with Madam. And then almost a month exactly after he released this piece, on March 17th, he resigned. Now I know it sounds a little conspiracy theorist, but I don't think it was a coincidence whatsoever. And if you look in, our politics, you see how people who are strong champions for the people get brought down, and using their sexuality to do it. I mean, look at Anthony Weiner. Also, there was a girl who came from Ireland over here, and she went to a Massachusetts school, and she was severely slut shamed. Slut shaming is shaming a girl for her sexuality, whether it be her real sexuality or just bashing her on sexuality when, those things may not be even, accurate. Her name was Phoebe Prince. She was statutory raped, and I think one of the girls had a crush on the boy who did that or what have you. But after that, the slut shaming got way out of control. And the final straw was when Phoebe Prince was walking home. One of these girls went by in a car and threw an energy drink, hit her in the head, and told her, "Why don't you just go home and kill yourself?" And she did. She took a scarf that her sister had given her and hung herself. Slut shaming is very much like the gay bashing and bullying that's going on. It's like it's the female equivalent of it. It's shaming you for your sexuality, whether those things they're shaming you on be accurate or not. And ironically, and I think I've said this before on my channel, but I have a couple new subscribers, I have really noticed more slut shaming going on between and among women than from men to women. It does happen, but as far as I've experienced it's more common among women. And I feel like it's a tool of social control because there is still this dependency, or this feeling of dependency that a lot of women have on male approval. And so sometimes when women slut shame other women, to me it's vying for the preferred position in what could be called in their minds a perception of patriarchy. If they perceive like a male dominated society where you have to vie for male approval, that's their way of fighting for it, rather than just chingazos on a mother. Sometimes they just. So those are my two examples. Tag those pimples. Also, if you're, maybe I'm wrong about slut shaming. Maybe it's not just strictly something that happens to females. Maybe it happens to males too, and I'm just not strongly aware of it. If you'd like to comment on that, I'd love to hear it. But if you are a female and you don't really feel like responding to the tag of the two examples, if you want to just talk about your own personal experiences with slut shaming and post it as a video response, that would be very interesting to me too. And thank you very much for paying attention to my videos, to my ramblings, and for supporting sex workers' rights. Sex workers' rights!